So all of that is set. We're looking forward to the playoffs. It should be great fun. There's something we have to clean up that happened over the weekend, and we have not yet had a chance to comment on this program because it happens Friday night, and, of course, we're not on over the weekends. Luka Doncic played just 13 minutes, and the Mavericks lost to the Bulls on Friday, a game the Mavericks made basically a statement they wanted to lose. That loss eliminated them from play-in contention. The 13 minutes were not an accident. They announced ahead of time he was going to play. They were going to take him out. That was going to be it. They made it clear they were losing that game on purpose. There were reasons for that. Windy, for those who don't know, just sort of as quickly and simply as you can, explain why it was so beneficial to Dallas to lose that game on Friday night.
Yeah, from a strategy standpoint, the Mavericks believed it was more important to them to keep their draft pick than to compete in the playoffs. So had they lost to the Bulls, they were at a much better chance of finishing 10th and therefore having an 82% chance of keeping their pick. And if they had beaten the Bulls, there was a much better chance they would be 11th in terms of the draft order, and they would only have a 14% chance of keeping their pick because of a previous trade that sends their draft pick to the New York Knicks if it doesn't fall inside the top 10. There's three problems, though, Greeny. One, Luka Doncic said last week he didn't want to give up. Two, they were thumbing their nose at the league's play-in tournament with two superstar players. And three, Jason Kidd basically announced that they were tanking before the game. And in the NBA, you're allowed to tank. You're just not allowed to say you're tanking. And they are now under investigation for violating the spirit of the rules. And they could face a 7-figure fine and potentially the loss of a draft pick. I don't think it'll come to that, but I have to acknowledge that possibility exists as the NBA conducts their review.
An extraordinary, apt punishment would be to take that pick they were openly tanking in order to keep, and give it away. Take the top 10 protection away from it or whatever they want because of what they did here, completely tinkering with the integrity of the sport itself. And again, I commend the league for looking into this. They're aggravated. I saw you immediately go head in hands. Most people have had a couple of days to react to this. What do you feel about it?
It's a hot mess, right? Like, I think, and I'm surprised you came down hard just now in your reaction. I don't think that it should come to the worst case scenario in terms of punishment, but just shut your mouths. Just stop talking and go about your business in a quiet fashion. I mean, that's what it comes down to for me in this way. It's so funny, though. I was with the photographer over the weekend at the Women's Final Four, and he kept saying, we got to tank, we got to tank, we got to tank. I was like, no. And then here they are. So from a business standpoint, I know we're all sort of exasperated, but it makes sense. An 82% chance versus a 14% chance. Just shut your mouth and do whatever you're going to do.
See, I have such a problem with that.
I know you do, but
because it's one thing if either way they weren't going to make the playoffs. If losing the game just meant finishing 10th versus 11th, but there was nothing else whatsoever at stake, I would feel one way. Winning out, they could make it into the play-in.
And do what?
And try to win games and championships, which is what they're supposed to be there in the first place for.
Greeny, the writing is on the wall. It's been on the wall since that trade. I hear you. Yes, the ratings would be fantastic. We love watching Luka and Kyrie. We love talking about it. But no, they're not going nowhere. What are we doing? Just be quiet. They're not going nowhere.
So every time I sit here and I say, well, we know they're not going anywhere, but they have to believe they're going somewhere, you're telling me, no, they know. We're not going anywhere. We're not good enough to do anything, so we're just not even going to try.
Yeah.
So that's where we are now. Okay, I get it. I hear you. I understand the logic behind it, but, I'm D. Wood. I don't even know that the chair is going to make it. D. Wood, what is your reaction to this?
Let Marcus talk first. I'm not ready yet.
Swagoo, what? What?
I'm with Monica. First of all, last week, shut up, man. Don't say you all in and you're going to try to get this thing done. And then you sit Kyrie and you play Luka the limited minutes along with some other starters in that game. But also, here's the thing, all right? And we got Monica, I'm with you because we put in the world don't know this. And yes, it's frustrating because we all high-level competitors and we want to play and we want to go with this notion that every team has the only agenda to win a championship. That is not true once you get to certain points in the season. I hate to break that news to the American public in these sports that I love, and y'all know how much I love the NBA. But when you don't play Kyrie and Luka, you tank it with the opportunity to try to go win a playoff game or get into the play-in.
Right,
that is exactly what it is.
Right.
Right, so listen, but the point is, G, is that everybody acts so flabbergasted that they, oh my God, I can't believe they doing this. I mean, the integrity of the game, like you just said. No. This been happening. They just
hold on.
And the reaction is,
I got to stop you, and I got to ask you a question, Marcus. They have added a seventh playoff team in each conference in the NFL, right? There are now an extra wild card. That seventh team has no chance of winning the Super Bowl, right? I mean, literally none. If the last week of the regular season, you're an NFL player, and if you guys win, you have a chance to get that playoff spot and be the seventh wild card in the NFC. And your front office comes forward and says, hey, big fella, we're not playing you Sunday. We're sitting you down. We're more worried about the draft pick and making sure we get a good pick this year than you getting a chance to go play in the playoffs. You're okay with that?
I'm not okay with that as a player,
well,
G, but what can I do?
Hold on.
But what can you do?
What?
Go ahead, Ma.
Monica,
go. That's a good point, Swagoo. But also, if you're talking about an organization, to stick with your football example, that has not been to the playoffs, that's one conversation. The Mavericks were in the conference finals a season ago or 2 seasons ago. So this is not a team that is been in despair and has not had success. They need to get help around Luka. Hey, big fella, the best way to get help around you is if we hold on to this draft pick. I need you to just ride it out the rest of the way.
And also,
yeah, go ahead, Marcus.
Okay.
Go quick.
Go ahead.
No, I haven't gotten Damien Woody in here yet.
When your head coach reiterates in interviews that this was a decision made from the top, that's why I return your question with, what can you do? If Jason Kidd would have put Kyrie and Luka out there and played all of the minutes, Mark Cuban and the rest of the brass, Nico, would have had a problem because it came from them.
Right? I mean, so if we're doing that, that's fine. If we're quibbling over who we're mad at, that's fine. But we should be mad is what I'm trying to say. D. Wood, your team snuck into the playoffs 1 year with the Jets because the Colts decided not to play their starters late in a late season game. That was a totally different situation. They didn't want Peyton Manning and those guys to get hurt because they were trying to go win a Super Bowl. And you guys, did you have a chance to win? I don't know. Maybe you thought you had a chance to win. The point is, what is your take on the entire decision? I can't believe that people are disagreeing with me on this. Go.
Well, just to finish off your Jet story, Peyton Manning, they sat Peyton Manning and them down.
To this day.
During the game, we win this game. We basically backdoor into the playoffs and basically was knocking on the door to the Super Bowl.
They went to the AFC Championship game.
We went to the AFC Championship.
How often does that happen? Because Greedy has this outlier example that's not real life. It doesn't happen often.
Maybe, I don't know, maybe the basketball world and the football world is wired differently. Very much so, because I think that the whole thing is you have an opportunity to get to the postseason.
And you have let me just.
You have an opportunity.
Can I give you the options? You have an opportunity to play one game, maybe lose one, maybe play another, right? You got to go through the play-in, or you have an opportunity to hold on to your pick because you desperately need to put help around your star and your cap space.
Yes.
Wendy, help me, but your cap space and your money is all jacked up after you send half the team away for Kyrie.
Wendy, get it.
Oh, that's it. So the player they're going to draft, the number 10 overall, is going to lead Luka Doncic to a championship.
Wendy, where's Wendy? Wendy, help me.
He's over there.
Help me, because the business piece of this is what I'm hearing come into play. No, that 10th pick might not be the guy, but it puts you in a better position moving forward.
Wendy, a quick final word, and then I got to go on to other things, but we'll come back to this because I'm aggravated. Go ahead, Wendy.
The Mavericks believe that the public relations hit that they are taking right now, which you guys are dishing out, is worth the long-term goal here, which is to get another player to help Luka Doncic. And I'm sure they explain that to Luka. Where Luka is on it, we will have to see over the medium term.
Yes. You know who might have helped Luka Doncic this year? Jalen Brunson. How'd that work out? Why don't you let him walk? Why don't you let your best players walk out the door for absolutely nothing? There's a good idea.
So basically, the whole front office tricked off this season for the Dallas Mavericks.
Right.
That's basically what we basically arguing about all of that.
Right.
Jalen Brunson, trade for Kyrie. You tricked off the season.
Right, exactly. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds to me like you're on my side, and so I'm happy.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Right.
Nothing is guaranteed.
Everyone hold this.
Nothing is guaranteed, but we all said on this show, when the Brooklyn Nets got Kyrie Irving, James Harden, and Kevin Durant, and we all thought they was going to the finals. And ain't nobody have a problem with it. All right? And then everybody killed them when they fell apart. Teams do this all the time. So just be mad.
We'll talk about it more when we come back.
Everybody stay where you are.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.